All right. Newsmax is one of them. The listed. They have taken strong stand against new Pentagon press rules, restrictions that it is called a threat to press freedom and government transparency. All right. So Newsmax, Fox News, all of them have like, oh no, what do you mean? We have to sign something? We can't roam around anymore? We can't do what we want to do? Have we forgot about the weaponization the Biden administration did afflicted upon the American people? I haven't forgot. One of my videos was taken down. Yep. Weaponization Committee exposes the Biden White House censorship regime in new report. And look, this was May 1st, 2024. This is a year old. Look at this. After reviewing tens of thousands of emails and non-public documents between the Biden House and Big Tech, the committee's report reveals Big Tech changed their content moderation policies because of the Biden administration told them to. Oh no, but Newsmax, Fox News, CSNBC, PMSNBC, CBS, ABC, NBC, Politico, Reuters, AP, that's Associated Press. I mean, I could keep naming them all, said, "What? We are just outraged. This is we need some transparency. We need to know when you're going to bomb somebody, when you're leaving, what time you're leaving, what you're going to do, where you're going to do it, but you don't have to tell us when you're coming back." I mean, this is ridiculous, but here we go. The Biden White House censorship targeted true information, satire, and other content that did not violate the platform's policies. The Biden White House censorship campaign had a chilling effect on other speech. The White House had leverage because the companies had other policy concerning involving the Biden administration. The Biden White House pushed censorship of books, not just social media. So, you have all of these outlets and other pundits and libtards screaming, "Oh, Trump's a dictator, Nazi, fascist, sexist, homophobe, Islamophobe, and he is going to run. He's going to run again. He's going to run again. He's going to control everybody's speech." I don't see the Trump administration censoring X. There's libtards on X, and boy, they're all over it. There's libtards on YouTube. Boy, I've seen them on my channel. I don't say anything. I mean, they can comment on my videos. I don't care. As long as they're not cursing and being blatantly disgusting, then yeah, I mean, if they are, I'm going to delete it. My channel's not big enough for me to have moderators yet, so I'm doing it. I'm looking through them. If there's foul language or anything like that, just blatantly like look, that's not called for. Nobody needs to see that. Then yeah, it needs to go. But YouTube, I mean, I don't see the Trump administration telling YouTube to censor people talking about getting the shot anymore, about talking bad about the administration, because boy, oh boy, oh boy, they all talk bad about Trump and the administration. So what's this? So my point is, Newsmax, Fox News, all of them, any of the conservative outlets, even the leftist outlets, never said a peep about the Biden administration going after big tech to change their content moderation policies because the Biden White House told them to, pressured them to. Facebook, dude came out, Zuckerberg. Oh, they pressured me. Well, you know what? If Trump was pressuring any of them, I guarantee you Zuckerberg would come out and go, hey, the Trump administration's pressuring me to censor the speech. They would have came out and said it. But no, not a peep from none of them. None of them said a word. They were shutting down doctors on Facebook, on any X, which was Twitter at the time. YouTube, you were taken down, you were shut down if you were against or had any concerns about getting a shot, which is legitimate free speech. Oh no, the Biden administration, you are too stupid to understand what is good for you. So we have to censor this speech. We have to compress. And man, they took down Trump's accounts, took them away, took others away. I mean, wiped them out. Not just censored them. They banned them like a permaban. Like bam. YouTube channels, Twitter channels, probably Instagram was doing it too. Guys, please do not forget. Please do not forget. I mean, I think every 6 months I need to come out and do a video and go, remember when this happened? Remember when this happened? During the so-called pandemic, that this happened? That the Biden administration went full force on suppressing free speech in the media space. Oh, but oh no, let's have a blanket cowl over controlling people where they're going in the Pentagon, and you need to sign a paper saying you are not going to leak information. Like we saw in here, this Jeffrey Goldberg was inadvertently included in a group chat. Well, whoever inadvertently got him in that group chat, he probably needed to be fired. Because that is, what if it was something really more important than what they were talking about? Not to diminish what they were talking about, but they were talking about strikes on Yemen, and then this person leaked it to the media. Do you want our country at risk because of journalists' right to know these things and tell you? I don't need to know this stuff. What we need to have is, which is hard. I don't know, because during the Biden administration, when we had this weaponization, how are we supposed to trust? But as the advent of Trump got in, Elon Musk buys Twitter, changes it to X, and then everybody has a voice. Whether you're a libtard or a right-wing nut, or you're conservative, or you ride the fence, everybody has a voice. And that's how it should be. But should you have the right to just go anywhere you want in the Pentagon? I beg to ask the question. Journalists who fail to comply with these rules risk losing their press credentials and access to the Pentagon. The memo outlines that unauthorized disclosures, whether classified or controlled or unclassified information, can lead to, okay, we read that, limited movement. Okay, so basically what's that saying is you have to have a press pass, and you're going to be escorted to where you need to go. You're just not going to be able to nilly-willy walk anywhere. I mean, what if they did come in? And what if they were like, I don't know, against the government, against American people, and they start putting out little listening devices everywhere? I don't know. I'm just asking. Approval for informative release. All information must be approved for public release by an appropriate authorizing officer before it can be shared. I don't have a problem with that. I don't see why that is a problem at all. All right, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Reporters have traditionally had access to unclassified spaces in the Pentagon to cover the military's interactions with the world. This includes the offices of the Defense Secretary, Joint Staff, and Sixth Armed Services, which is completely absurd to me. Why should they have access to sensitive areas? I don't think, even if this didn't come up and then I found out about this, I'd be like, why the hell are you being able to go there? But the Defense Department in January took away workspaces from several media organizations, including Politico, the Washington Post, and the New York Times, and brought in mostly conservative outlets. Cracks me up. Oh my God. When news organizations protested the move, the Pentagon took away the desks for more organizations, including NBC News and CNN. He said, all right. How about that interview Trump had a few days ago where a reporter stood up and he's like, I think it was where he was talking to a lot of the people that worked on the ground as independent journalists, and you had some Turning Point people in there, young people, and that one journalist who got arrested. I believe he was in Portland. It could have been Chicago he was in. Whatever. He was arrested at a protest, and he wasn't even doing anything wrong, right? But some journalists started asking questions. He said, well, where are you from? She said CNN. He goes, I'm not even going to talk to you. That was epic. I was like, laughing my ass off. It was so funny. I found it hilarious. Hilarious. Because if you're going to spin the news, I agree with Trump on that. But yeah, CNN can still say whatever they want to say. And they do. And they twist all kinds of stuff. Of course they do. Oh man, when the news organizations protested the move, the Pentagon took away desks of more organizations. It's so funny. Hagsif in May further restrict access after he faced criticism for sharing sensitive details about the U.S. military strikes in Yemen on a single chat group to which a journalist was inadvertently added. Those rules limited journalists to buildings, press, bullpens, cafeteria, and courtyard. They must now receive an escort to go anywhere else. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. Now, guys, I just found this hysterical that they removed these places. Took away their workspaces for several media organizations. So the Pentagon, this is what it's telling me, that they had areas already for them. Oh, it's never good enough for them, is it? It's never good enough. Never. Let's get back to this. So this is Newsmax on their X page, and they're saying, we're taking a strong stand because we want freedom of speech. We want to go where we want to go. And look, I just want to go over some of these comments because I thought the comments were like, whoa, this is interesting. Because I wanted to see what was the pulse of people for this or against it. So it's looking like in this, I mean, they've had almost 1,000 comments. But it's giving you an idea, I guess. I'd like to see more, and I will do more research on America. Are you against this or for this? I mean, my opinion is, I'm sure you've already heard, that I don't have a problem with this. No, you can't be roaming all around. In fact, every time they're going to have some kind of call, they need to just make sure who's all on this call. Well, it looked like my thing was stalling again, so I apologize. I don't know what's going on. This person says, no, you haven't. So, Newsmax has taken a strong stand against new Pentagon press restrictions that has called a threat to press freedom and government transparency. And this person says, no, you haven't. You have just proven that you are no better than MSM. You would have leaked the Manhattan Project to the Japanese just to get a story. Oh, bam, smack down. We need journalists with integrity to protect our national security. Guess that's OANN now. So that OANN now is the only press that signed it. Said, okay, yeah, sure. So if they're not going to sign it, then they're just going to just stand outside. Whatever. Who cares? I guess. So what? But I don't see them saying that they can't go to the White House. I'm sure they can. They are not allowed to just walk around the White House. Period. And I don't even know why in the hell. How many years has this been going on that you've allowed people to just run amok? Now, I did watch a Newsmax video earlier, and they had a guy on there saying, no, that's kind of not really true. We can't really walk anywhere we want, but he didn't get into specifics. So this is saying that no more wandering about. And of course I said, well said. And then this says, what part of the new rules do you not agree with? Seems very reasonable to me. And here we go. We have some check marks. Pentagon access is a privilege, not a right. So that's what I thought too. I kind of thought, well, and they just giving you. I mean, I don't know if communist China or Russia are allowing journalists to go into their military headquarters to get press releases, unless I'm sure their press releases are completely propaganda. Totally propaganda. I mean, I understand that the government just, look, they need to give you what you need to hear. They're only going to give you what you need to hear. And I guarantee you in the whole lifetime of my lifetime, and probably ever since there was such a thing for the press, they only told them what they needed to know. They're not going to tell them everything. And they shouldn't, because it can jeopardize our national safety. That's just common sense. I'm thinking, I don't need to know everything. Do you? Do you need to know everything? Every little thing. And then if you know it, and then you publish it, and now the damn world knows it. Right? Press no longer roams free. Press must wear visible badge. Conditional press no longer permitted to solicitate criminal acts. Whoa. What? Pentagon now has some rules, as every U.S. military installation should have. Now, he didn't put on there, with all full disclosure, he didn't put on there that they have to sign this paper saying they're only going to report what is said to them. Okay. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. I hate newspaper men. They come into camp, pick up their camp rumors, and print them as facts. I regard them as spies, which in truth they are. There you go. General William Sherman. Wow, I never knew he said that. But yeah, I guess since even back then, they need a scoop. They need a sensational headline to make a name for themselves. And I guess this is somebody who canceled their Newsmax subscription. I guess it must be a newsletter. So they're saying the way of Netflix. You don't have the right to just roam around the Pentagon regardless of how many years you folks in the media have been given the free reign. Media, even outlets like you who pretend to be conservative, shouldn't have access to wherever they want. Okay. Loose lips sink ships. How many journalists roam the halls of the CIA, DIA, or Area 5152 without credentials to stop leaks? Grow up and quit bitching about it. Adapt and overcome, and do some real investigative work out in the field. This is not a 1A issue. It's a classified security issue. Look, apparently I did watch, I think it was Fox News Live Now. It's not really Fox News, it's something else, right? But it says Fox News Live Now. Y'all probably know what I'm talking about. And I clicked on it, and they did have a journalist on the ground filming, But look, most of the major media groups, which back in the past they would have been on the ground at all of these ICE facilities and filming and covering what these people are doing. So why isn't CNN, PMSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, why are they not on the ground interviewing the disruptors? The people causing all the problems. Some of them are dressed up as furries and they're masked up. The hypocrisy knows no bounds, so they mask up, but the other people are masked. But why don't you take your mask off so we'll know who you are? I mean, well, it's so absurd. But my point is, journalistic integrity. Why are you not on the ground? Some of the biggest stories in America right now is trying to make cities safe. Why would you not want cities safe? Why are you not covering this intensively? I don't get it. Like, why are you not interviewing? Like, why are you here? Like, getting in the faces of the rioters. Why are you doing this? What's your political views? How do you feel about this? Which we already know. Trump's a communist, racist, Nazi, sexist, Islamic homophobe, and he just wants to just ruin families and this kind of thing like this, but that's not the case. So they are not printing the truth. We're getting out illegals. We're getting the guns off the street. Look at D.C. Memphis is excited. Memphis wanted them to come in, so we're not having these problems. But we're having the problems with these other two states, which are run by leftist liberals. I don't understand why anybody would not want to make America great. I watched 4 programs of Newsmax regularly I will no longer be watching because of your disrespect for the protocols of the Department of War. Stupid move by Newsmax. Comply or buy, it's a military facility. Military rules, standards and requirements prevail. Get on board or leave. Just like the service members who volunteered to serve our nation. Strict adherence to the structured environment that is critical for the national security. I agree with that. Why do you think you can just roam the halls of the Pentagon uncensored? I really don't think that's what they're pissed about. I'm going to be completely honest on what my theory is. I think they're mad that they have to sign something that they're going to be held accountable for what they print in the paper. And I think that is the core issue. For them to just say, okay, you all right, you got to wear a badge and you can only go here. And yeah, if you want to go to the cafeteria, we'll escort you over there. And then the door, that's it, or the bathroom. So everything's right there. Boom. So you can't be wandering around. They'd probably said, okay. I'm just going out on a limb here. But I think the problem is that now they're going to be held accountable, because if they get up and they say, and it's public, maybe it's put on X, this is what they're saying, and then there's a video of the news conference, and then they turn and leave and start adding a bunch of gobbledygoo in it, right? Like that, what, you get some leak somewhere? Did somebody tell you something you shouldn't know? Right, kind of thing. Well, I think that's what they're pissed about. That they just can't go write what they want to write about the Pentagon, the Department of War, and their statements in their press conference. Now, as far as I know, this is not happening at the White House press conferences. This is not happening when Trump is taking questions from the audience. Now, yeah, he's saying, nah, I don't even want to take you, the CNN. They treated him like shit. I don't blame him. Now, is he being kind of, what would you call it? Like maybe a tit for tat or whatever you want to call it, or revenge on them? No, I don't know. But when you've got a decade or more of them saying, my thing is acting up again. Okay, here it goes. With him saying that, he did some ugly things to women. They were all for his house getting raided. He's a fascist. They put up pictures of him looking like Hitler. I mean, it's just on and on and on and on and on. And I really can't fault him for that. I really can't. It's just really dishonest. Here's a list of, this is just a handful. There was another one I saw that was just a huge, it's even bigger than that. One America News, which I'm not sure what One American News is. Maybe we need to take a look at that. All right, I just pulled up One American News. I'm not sure if they have a YouTube channel. Let's see. Well, looky here. One American News Network. I did not know this even existed. It has 1.41 million. Let's take a look at some of the videos they have. I didn't even know this was a thing. I started seeing Newsmax a lot more in my feed that I normally look at, and then I started checking it out, and I was like, hey, this is pretty good, so I subscribed to it, but I didn't know about this. This is not getting pushed out in the algorithm, because it hasn't been, even when you click on, if you go over here, and then you click on, let's say you're going to click on news, right, where you can, let's go all the way down, where you can come here and then you can click on news. It was mostly just CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all this. I didn't even know that, that the other one existed. So here we have One American News Network. Let's see, air traffic controllers, sound alarm over government shutdown impacts. So, you know, some of their videos. Trump warns Hamas. I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Let's read more about them. American News is a national TV news network. OANN is a credible source for national and international headlines and independent cutting-edge platform for political discussions. Watch all of our content on our streaming platform, OANN, live on Vidgo and GCI and on Claude TV. Okay, and then you can find them all through here. They're in the United States. Wow, they've been since 2013? Good night. Yeah, I've been under a rock or something. I didn't know nothing about this. Again, they got 1 million followers, subscribers. I'm probably going to be one of them. They're the only ones that are going, okay, we'll go in there. I did read somewhere they were saying that, where was it? We'll try to find it. Well, I had read, I just paused it and went and tried to find it. Because I had pulled up so many different articles trying to find things to do this video. The article was insinuating that this had to do with Trump, part of this organization or something. I read it and I'm like, well, what is that? What are they talking about? So anyway, I kind of figured it was BS. I think it was in one of those liberal media posts. You could tell when you're reading it. When they make these sly comments, you can always tell where it's just not a pure, like tell us the news. Like sometimes you want to hear opinion news, and sometimes you just want to hear the raw crutch of the news of the subject that they're talking about. Like, what is the facts? What are the facts do you have? And then you can read that, and then you can go and read an opinion on it. Right? But let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, never forget what the Biden administration did to the American people for 4 years. 4 years. Pressured big tech, social media, and suppressing free speech. But yet everybody's having a tizzy over the Pentagon having some rules. Which that should be a given because of national security. And there you have it.